So I like when the artwork still growing. The moment when especially an artist, if I explain my work, means I kill my work. I kill him because artists can leave some secret inside the work. So that secret is like antidote to let the artwork live for immortality because of some secret. So in this case, I don't look for meaning. I just do what I see in this moment, and especially in these last few years, there's so many things happen, and I think all of us in our minds full of thought and full of imagination of what this world is going on, So I'm just participate what I'm seeing. And this is also part of the Gaze of Sleepwalker means. My point of view is, I realize that all the animals, they are living with sense. They communicate with each other with sense. And humankind, usually we use code. We use number. And our code make us intelligent. I mean, the numbers, all this. But some numbers can end the world. Some numbers is so strong that it create a solution. And then it become bigger and bigger. It can even bigger than nuclear, But we learn from the code, and then sometimes our sense is limited. We have 5 senses, internal and external, whereas the animal, they are using 6 senses. So this exhibition is about, for me, actually is the kind of to find some subject and to make this project, you see. So this subject is about between the humankind using the code, and the code can be 1,000 things. It can, with that code you build a building, with that code you build the engineering, with that code you communicate. But whereas the other side, they use the sense, and the sense they can communicate with 1,000 miles away, like dolphin or the dog, they can smell 100 miles. So these two ways is almost kind of an ecosystem. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's unfortunately, and mankind, we have a code that is going further to the something maybe is quite bigger than us, and maybe we go for nuclear. But if we know how to use it in the correct way, maybe that will help us to mankind to go to further to another planet, to explore the universe. So the mankind have an ability with that solution can go further. An animal, I don't know how they go. Maybe they already know that with their spiritual world, and they can find the solutions to use the energy to explore another world. But now we still don't know what happened because we still have billion years to go. I like to observe, and then when you observe something, sometimes you don't know where you are observing. That's why I say it's kind of a sleepwalker, because you are not dreaming, but you observe something which is you don't have. Sometimes you can't remember the image in front of you. And when I look at all these subjects that observe looking at me, and it remind me, in that moment that I'm observing something. Something maybe smaller than me, something maybe bigger than me. But sometimes you just can't do anything with it, you know. It's you let the day go by, and we go on, we move on. So it's interesting thing. It's very interesting if you go inside the observation world. You know, you observe things, and then the things would continue with the evolutions. Like, for example, if I observe something when I was young, that's another meaning. You know, you can see the same thing. Okay, I see a chair. When I was young, it's a chair. You know, you go to the school, you sit, it make you comfortable. You know. And when getting older, maybe you think, oh wow, this chair maybe is not a chair. Maybe it's a symbol of the power. Maybe it's you know, it's people who need the power. And then you're getting older, and then you realize that, wow, you know, this chair is my shadow. They always accompany you everywhere. You know, it's your partner. It's your the most faithful partner. And then you go on, and then you say, oh no, forget it. This is just a simple chair. You know, it's our growing, our journey that we change the significance of everything. It's with a simple object, and then when you grow, and then you get influence of what is happening in the world, and then slowly you change the meaning of what you see. But it go back to the same thing, like what you say, the code, this number. That's why in the beginning you go any number you choose, and then with this solution it can make in the same with your different number, and then we go into the same way, 6174. You know, it's just like, okay, for example, in the morning you take your breakfast, and then come to the end you go and work, and then you take your lunch, you go and work, and then you take your dinner, and then you go sleep. Next day early in the morning you go to the toilet, and then you start, and it's the same thing. But it might be different starting point. You know, maybe today you start in PJ, tomorrow maybe you are from Ampang, but you go to the same toilet. It will go the same. You eat from Ampang and then go one way, but the toilet you have to go. You know, this is 6174. But of course, all this subject of these solutions, I try to transform it into art language. You see, because I like to get involved in my daily life, in what I see and what the society is around me. You know, if I stay in Africa, I want to be influenced by the African culture if I live there. If now I'm inside the war, I want to be part of the, you know, the person, the citizen or the soldier that involved in this war. I cannot just pretend not to see, you know. So this is my kind of interpreting my subject to turn into the art language. I have some problem actually within me and me, because sometimes I ask too much question to myself, and then come to the end, my question, my answer, it's overflow, and it become, in my mind, it become obvious, because maybe I keep on answering what I'm asking. I think artists' main problem is to defeat the obvious. Obvious is the main, is the mother of the creation. If I make something which is so obvious, and me myself that I'm going to destroy it because I want to turn it into something which is, you know, so unknown that it create my curiosity. And for these reasons, for me to explain my art, it becomes more and more difficult, because what my preoccupation is, when I tell what is this about, in that moment it turns into obvious. So usually artists have a lot of problems. That's why sometimes we need the curator to explain. because they don't have 100% of our secret. So whatever they say is nice, because when whatever artist said, you said all your secret, and it make things become that means it close everything, because you already said, because artists have a right to say what is inside. If you don't avoid to explore this, I mean, sometimes we have to avoid to explore everything. When I go to my storeroom where I store all my old painting, every time I see one painting, I always say, oh God, this painting is in coma for so long. And then it's so sad that today I'm going to kill them because I need the canvas so badly. You know, so sometimes artists have a lot of problem inside the studio. It's not the art itself, because art is living things in the way that if it's not alive, we will kill them. Artists itself will kill them. We need the canvas, we need the stretches, we need, because otherwise you have to get a new canvas, is another expenses. This is artist problem, That's why there's two point of view actually. One part of view is before your creation of the art. The other side is after the creation of the art. Before the creation, the artist in the studio, they need a protection. They need to know, wow, the studio is too cold. We need a heater, and then wow, these instruments, I have to change another one, and canvas. Oh God, where am I going to buy? It's just artists before they build their creation. And then after that, after the creation, then it came in the curator, it came in a museum, came in a gallery, came in everything that to promote the creation. So before this, we make it as an example as a child. No, before he's born, what we know is we have to try to make the child born in the correct way, right? Then after that, you can think about, wow, this child maybe can be a famous doctor, it can be a famous runner, it can be, there's two ways. So when artists in the studio, we have a lot of perplexity, right? This is a problem when we have to confirm, like your question, you want me to confirm my art. But we are full of perplexity. I don't know if this is really finished work or not sometimes, because I know that when next 5 years I come back, I have something to say with this work, right? So artists himself don't want to make it as a permanent explanation of the work. Talking about philosophy, actually, my point of view is I don't think there's any philosophy. There's never exist a philosopher for me. The philosopher is the only thing because they anticipate something which is to overtake the obvious. Anything which is not obvious and is so fresh, so new, and it becomes philosophy. So the philosopher, they have that ability to anticipate something which is over obvious. That's why I say everything begins with obvious. Even for the philosopher, what they say, so extraordinary the point of view. But when they say, there's no more philosophy after that, because it becomes obvious. So the philosophy, they have to go over what they have been thinking before. See, right? If we follow the philosophy of the 15th century, for us it's so obvious. It's nothing special. Only maybe they have a very nice way of writing. It's a nice way of, they're using the language. But the idea is over. So we are more, our philosophy is growing. It's not only the philosophy itself. Philosophy itself can be taking over always with something, which is, if you have a fresh and new vision. So this is what I say. Philosophy is just a name. It can take over anytime.